play right, cause they can't miss. All about the game, that's a cold switch. Serving up the truth, call it ruthless. Tune in and get your fix from Blake and Vish Sports.
Not a rookie, but it's the first time that we've seen him besides training camp and family night and just throwing without pads on to receivers in an organized game of football. And that's Packers Jordan Love. So obviously very controversial man, not because people think he's horrible or anything, but the Packers traded up to get him, and then Aaron Rodgers followed that up with an MVP season, and many are questioning the front office for doing that. But not to get into the optics of it, but Vish, what were your overall thoughts on Jordan Love's first game as a Packer in the preseason?
So I'm going to be brief because I really just want to hear your thoughts. We haven't been able to talk about this yet. We talked about it a little bit last night, but we haven't really gone fully in depth into it. But I thought he was much improved. That's the word I want to say. One of the things with Jordan Love, and I watched a lot of him at Utah State, one of the things that always stood out to me about him is he would make one throw that would make you think, wow, this is a top 10 pick in the draft. That's a special throw. The very next throw would be like, yeah, this is not a guy you can draft in the first 2 rounds. Like the inconsistency was just like a little bit like, okay, I'm just not sure what you have here. I thought the most impressive thing was that he was very consistent yesterday. He was very consistent with his accuracy, his ball placement. I thought he made I think he, in my opinion, he really had only like 1 or 2 bad throws. I know he hadn't finished 12 for 17. But again, like we mentioned with Trey Lance, like Trey Lance went 5 for 14. I thought he had 3 bad throws in that 5 for 14, right? The 2 almost pick balls, and then the one on a slant to Travis Benjamin that I just thought he threw too far into his body instead of out in front of him. Just like that, Jordan Love might have been only 12 for 17, but I thought he had maybe 2 bad throws. The one on 4th and 2 to Funches, I personally didn't like that decision. Now, again,
Agreed.
like to see what the other receivers were doing, but throwing that ball into double coverage 20 yards down the field, not the best decision. And then there was one more throw that he flat out missed. I mean, there was one he missed that his arm got hit. I didn't really put that on him.
Yeah,
and then his fumble, the exchange, okay, that I guess that happens in a preseason.
Yeah, I don't know what he could have done
that, but yeah. But I thought there were also a couple great throws. Like they had, I mean, the seam route to Sternberger, the first one he really ripped versus Tampa 2 over the linebacker, just absolutely ripped it in between the safeties. I thought that was a special throw. I thought that was a fantastic throw that kind of epitomized how talented he is as a thrower. And then he had one more throw, a couple more throws to Funches over the middle that they were strikes. And then he had the slant to Malik Taylor on another 3rd down. That was a really good throw. Overall, I thought Jordan Love looked promising. He looked more consistent, much more in control, much more calm and poised, and especially that the operative word is under control, because he was a little bit reckless at Utah State. So I think all of those things were improvements and steps in the right direction for him.
So I'm pretty similar with you. I enjoyed what he did. They couldn't run the ball at all, so I did want to throw that out there. Their run blocking was pretty atrocious. I think at the end of the first quarter or first half, they had less than like 20 rushing yards. So that they weren't really getting any favors from that. So, you know, the yards they were getting were just coming from him. I thought that his arm looked very strong, and he, like the ones he was able to step up into, namely the 2 Funches throws and then the Sternberger throw, there was a lot of velocity on those, and you could tell they were rifles. And Funches, I don't know, man. He didn't play last year, broke his collarbone the year before, but he looked solid out there, just, you know, catching everything and actually getting open. So that was nice to see. I agree with the one deep throw to Funches, like double coverage, 4th and short, right? I actually on that. So LaFleur talked about it. He was supposed to do a fake to the running back, and he went the wrong direction, but if you look back, Amari Rodgers, it was like a little bootleg, and Amari Rodgers cut across, and he would have been open for the first if he would have gone the right way, because it just took a little extra longer, and by that time, Amari Rodgers was kind of too far to the sideline. Not to get too off topic, so that was the mistake. And then, yeah, the one that it was basically a throw into double coverage to Amari Rodgers that got batted incomplete. Like, if it was just Rodgers there, it was very accurate. It's just, you know, double coverage, so he couldn't reel it in. But I really did think he played overall solid game. we didn't see much of his athleticism though, and that was something that I was interested in, and I guess mainly because seeing Fields and Lance how they are, like I think Fields and Lance just showed how much more athletic they are than all the other quarterbacks, because all the other quarterbacks are, they're not like Jared Goff's athleticism or someone like Chad Henne who just completely immobile. They're like the grade above where, if they have an open lane, they can actually like move. We didn't really get to see that from Love. And there was one play where there was an open field that he could have taken off in, but he threw it like kind of sideways to the running back. And it looked like the D lineman didn't get his arm on him.
Like
so maybe
the second play of the game, right?
Yes. Yeah, it was the first drive. So I guess we didn't really get to see him run, and that was kind of something I wanted to see, just how he is out of the pocket on the run and stuff like that. But we didn't get to. It's not a big deal. And then, I think the forced fumble, like, he really couldn't do anything. Nijman, who's the left tackle who they've been developing, he got beat instantly. And it was kind of like right as he cocked it back, the dude was there. So nothing really he could have done there. But, overall, I was happy just with how he played in general. Don't want to overreact to anything. It was one meaningless preseason half of football, but he definitely looked like a quarterback that had good traits, especially his arm and, delivering strikes to Funchess twice and Sternberger were really, really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it is meaningless, right? But if he came out and looked like as erratic as he did at Utah State, then we would be saying like, wow, he looks erratic. And I think it's important to see that he's improved. He looked under control. He was throwing the ball consistently. He always seemed to have control of where the ball was going. And for the most part, he was pretty accurate. His ball placement looked pretty good to me. And whether that's in the preseason against second teamers or third teamers, ball placement is ball placement. If it's a good throw, it's a good throw. And to me, he made a few good throws there, and it looked positive personally.
Definitely. I think that's the thing too. Like, all you can really hope for is things that are, that should transfer over to playing in a normal regular season game, right? So I do think he showed that. He had pretty good poise, good job on the timing routes, hitting the guy when you need to. I enjoyed his. I don't think it was the best day of everyone, but I think he did do enough to warrant, like, hey, like, this guy clearly has talent that when he does eventually take the reins, like, it's something to be excited for.
No, yeah, I agree.
Definitely. But that was pretty much all that we wanted to get into in regard to kind of the rookie quarterbacks.